affordable. We are not NIMBY, that's the term that is understood, but we do not support the individual Department of Homeless Services proposal to put a transitional shelter at 306 West 94th Street.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
That process does not involve the community. We have a wonderful community board. We have wonderful neighborhood organizations that are always willing to work with the agency. But we are not willing to be told that when there are residents in the building, a neighborhood is always willing to meet, and a neighborhood is always willing to participate in creating affordable housing. And we were simply told this is a 9-year contract and almost $8 million per year for Samaritan House and city owners. That is not acceptable. It is not what was promised in terms of this administration when we passed legislation in August. For all of those reasons, we want permanent housing. We are not NIMBY. We do believe in participation in the process, and we're always willing to work with city and state and federal agencies to come up with a better solution. So we want to be very, very clear. We oppose this particular project, but we want to work in the future with affordable permanent housing, and this is a great neighborhood to do that. I would like to next turn this over to Manhattan Borough President, who has been instrumental in this process as he always is. Borough President.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Councilmember Brewer, for your good work on the west side and throughout the city. And I'm glad to be here with my colleague, Congressman Rangel, our community board, our other elected officials. Linda Rosenthal is on family business, but she too wanted me to echo her remarks as well. Let me be very clear. This community has always been about embracing less fortunate people. We are a community that feels for people in this city. And in fact, for so long, this is the community that has always been on the front line of so many social justice issues.
That's right.
But we have had only one demand, and that is the city administration has to continue to be collaborative. And what I find to be particularly disgraceful about this proposal is the Department of Homeless Service Commissioner thinks he can act like the Commissioner of the Department of Sanitation. His way or the highway. And this community is here today to say, no, that's not the way this is going to work. We demand that you halt this project and this process until you have a real dialogue with the West Side community and come clean about what your long-term plan is for not just this neighborhood, but this block, because the people here have had to bear the burden, and their disrespect is totally unacceptable. Mayor Bloomberg, I want to say to you that after the rollout of Chancellor Black, after the city time contract, the snowstorm, do not make this the fourth one that is going to blow up in the administration's face. Just call back the DHS Commissioner Diamond, tell him to stand down until we can figure out a comprehensive plan for temporary homeless shelters in this city. And I want to just say one more thing. We've been down this road before. And Commissioner Hess, his predecessor, worked with us every day and night. People didn't always like the outcome of that, but when we had to move homeless people into a neighborhood, we had a protocol, we had a process, people came in, people came out, but there was a sense that everybody had their cards on the table. We want to go back to that dialogue, Mayor Bloomberg. We want to be able to sit around the table and actually accomplish something. So I am very proud to be here. I know this community will approach this in a way that talks about long-term public policy. And we just passed legislation in Albany, if I may say, that gave hope that we can finally provide permanent housing for people and use some of these SRO hotels to do the most good with supportive services. But transitional housing without a plan is doomed to failure. And the commissioner knows this, so why dump his ill-conceived plans on a neighborhood that has always bear the burden? Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's
Community Board has held meetings upon meetings, and they have not been able to be part of the process that the borough president just outlined.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to thank our elected officials, Councilwoman Gail Brewer, Borough President Scott Stringer, Assembly Member Linda Rosenthal, our Congressman Rangel, and all the other elected officials who have worked so hard to shed light and work very quickly on this very crucial issue. We have 3 points of the community board. First, converting SROs into homeless shelters serves no one. The goal of the and we wholeheartedly agree to reduce homelessness by increasing permanent, affordable housing. This program does not serve the homeless, it does not serve the community, and it does not serve the city of New York. Secondly, we value the diverse fabric of our community, and we stand with our residents of this shelter and of this SRO and all SROs in the city to preserve their homes and safeguard their place in our community. And third, we unanimously, as a community board, voice our opinion and call for an immediate moratorium on converting SROs into transitional shelters. Yes. This does not work together to solve the continuum of needs. Affordable housing and the dearth of affordable housing and the homelessness that's increasing in our city are 2 peas in the same pod. This is a systemic problem, and we need to look at it from a holistic perspective. We implore our city agencies and the entire alphabet of departments, DHS, HPD, HRA, EYCD, and the Department of City Planning to work together with the community, with the elected officials, with residents, with developers, and also with landlords to come up with solutions that are sustainable and work for everyone. Let's get together. We have a lot of work to do.
Our next speaker is the Honorable Charles Rangel, and we're delighted that he's here. This is his community, and he has always represented it very, very well. Congressman.
Well, one thing this proves is that community boards work, Mr. Whitmore. And it also proves that when you're talking to Councilwoman Brewer, she knows how to get you no matter where you are. I think that says something, Scott, not just for this, but for the service that's provided by the people in the community. In Washington, I always brag about having the most diverse, exciting congressional district that we have in the nation. And one of the reasons is this exciting community. We have so much diversity in culture, in income, and in the willingness to help people, immigrants and those people that's fallen on bad luck. It is really unfair for the city to put us in a position as though we're turning our backs on homeless people. It's they that are turning their backs on homeless people.
That's right.
This community has a history of being able to absorb whatever we can, getting the resources, making people feel comfortable, getting them together so they can move out into the general population. You don't, in the middle of the night, give a contract, no matter how costly that contract is, for 9 and 10 years, and then have people wake up to find out they now have to assume additional social responsibility. It is not fair to put us in this. And quite frankly, Mr. President, who do you make the contract with? When you say the city of New York, are we talking about, like Councilwoman, are we talking about the people of New York? If you're going to have a contract with anybody, it's with us.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I don't know who the sponsors are, but it would seem to me, before they sign the dotted line, they would just ask one question. What does the community think about this? And so I would like to believe, Mr. Mayor, that this is no more than a heads up. Somebody made a big mistake. And if you want to negotiate with a community, let's bring in the landlords, let's bring in all of the people that are affected by it, let's bring in the social workers, and tell the community in the daytime what they did late in the darkness of night.
That's right. All right.
That was great. You think? It was brilliant.
Joined by Melissa and Mark Barbarito, who is the council member just north of us, and we've also we have a district leader, Mark Landis here. We're going to hear from the councilwoman.
All right.